Hello, Knights fans. Back with this week's edition of the FDU Men's Basketball Report. An exciting week to unpack here with Coach. Let's start with the 5-game winning streak. Your team is playing its best basketball of the season. What has been your biggest takeaway, and what have your team's strengths been mostly over the course of this run?
I think what started the run and what's hopefully continuing it is we're just grinding. We're just playing together, playing hard. We're not perfect by any stretch, but we're just playing together and harder and at a high volume, and there's confidence. And when you do those things, good things are going to happen. So very, very proud of just everybody. Obviously, Darnell and Mike and Jaleel. We got 6 really good ones. But I just like what Brandon brings. Unpracticed, what Pat and Oscar and BJ and Tyler's heard. We got 3 guys out, and sometimes 4 guys out. So we have no walk-ons on our team. So our practices are difficult. Pat Sellers in practice is huge. He's on the floor. You see it. So it's a collective team run that we're on, and we have a good formula, and we just need to continue to get better. We can't just stay the same, and I think we're improving. And in this time of the year, in February, you're either getting better and improving, or you're not. And if you're not, you're probably not winning games. And right now, we're fortunate to win some really good, tough, close home games.
Let's touch on those two. Let's 5-game winning streak, but the last 2 games have been something special. Let's start with Thursday, nationally televised game on ESPNU. Our great alum Seth Greenberg's in the building, and your team's playing LIU Brooklyn, a team you've had a tough loss to already this season. Obviously, the NEC semifinal last season. You came in here in front of a great home crowd, took care of business. On the whole, what was the whole day like for you as the head coach?
Number one, it was great because Seth was here for 2 full days almost. So we have a great, illustrious alum in our midst, and he talked to our players and hung out with them, and that's just good stuff, and not every program has that ability. The exposure to a big game with cameras, when I got here, my goal was to win championships and play in big games. And I tell our guys, sometimes there's not big crowds, but they're coming if you win. And they came, and the Crime Stoppers and Anita Rivers, she was incredible, and the crowd, and Jessica over in Student Life. So our guys love the spotlight, so that's a good thing, because generally when you go down the pike here in March, the spotlight's coming if you're good enough, and our guys stepped up to the spotlight against a really good LIU team. They played really, really well. We were fortunate to win the basketball game, but that was a special night, and it was a audience that was national. People were texting me from all over the place, and then we were lucky enough to get on the air after the game and sit and talk with Kevin and Seth and talk about our program, and it was a great night.
Definitely, you could tell, the emotion, definitely you could see it in your players on the bench, the guys on the court. They really feed off that crowd's energy, and It's great to see the fans come out in droves. Then you follow up Saturday, another great day for FDU basketball, as you like to say. Great day to be a Knight. You had Lee Shulman in the building retiring his jersey. You have Robert Morrison here, the first-place team in your conference, and you come out in the first half and you put up 47 points on a team that doesn't give up 47 points in a half. How pleased were you heading into the locker room? And then obviously the way your team fought hard and closed out all the way through down the stretch.
I wasn't as pleased as you think, because we couldn't stop. They couldn't stop us, and we couldn't stop them. So I knew at the end of the day, it came down to stops, and I think we guarded, and Darnell quietly took their best player that had a lot of points, and at the end of the game made it really difficult for him to score, and we made some crucial stops, and the last stop was, I don't know how it didn't go in. It would have been a third overtime. I personally would not. I told my staff, I'm out if it goes to the third overtime. You guys take it over. But no, beating Robert Morris, who's right now in first place in our building, retiring a number. We had 20 alums in our locker room, including Lee Shulman, talking about sacrifice and teammates and friendship and love. It was just a day that the NCAA needs to see that day, because that's what college athletics about. It's about passing the torch, and Lee carries the torch for our program from an alumni standpoint, but we've got players now that are carrying the torch. So that was a sensational, really, really, really good day.
Double overtime thriller. Your team really gutted it out. Countless possession after countless
every
possession.
time you thought the game was over, it wasn't. And every time you thought you had an advantage, you didn't. And that's college basketball. And that's a Saturday afternoon where the home team wins and they beat us out there. And we had to come back and even the score, and we did. But it's fun. And now you have a new athletic director that's not officially on, but watching this. And it's kind of like, so far so good with Brad, and hopefully, I know he's very happy with what he sees. The potential here is limitless, and Saturday and Thursday really showed that.
Yeah, Brad Hurlbut, 2-0 in his unofficial tenure already as our director of athletics.
Don't take a check until just keep on being the acting or the next AD, because I like the way it goes. We're 2-0 and two, like, really, other than our NCAA run, probably two of our best, like, emotional, exciting crowd wins we've had here in my 6 years.
Total team effort all week.
Yes.
I noticed one of the stat trends this season, your team, and as a coach, I know you love to see your guys get to the line.
Yep.
Your team has struggled a little bit with getting the foul calls and getting to the free throw line. You took 40 free throws against Robert Morris, made 31 of them. Obviously a huge key to the game, and you made big ones down the stretch. Obviously Darnell Edge, but Mike Holloway hit too, Caleb Bishop, and so forth and so on. As a coach, though, was that part of your game plan, or I mean, is that something that you were really focused on, or you were just?
As a young boy, Coach Hurley, I used to go to his camp. He always said this, and I'll never forget it: great players go to the line. Good players go to the line. Good teams go to the line. We have better players, and when you have good players, they're hard to guard. When you have strong guys, when you share the ball, and when you have leads, you're going to go to the line. So it all gets back to our players. So to get to the line 40 times, you have to make plays in order to get fouled, and it's about our basketball players. And before, when I was just trying to build this thing, the other teams were going to the line 40 times, and I never could understand. I thought it was the referees, and sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But if you look at the guys that are fouled the most in the NBA, they're all all-stars, every single one of them. The great players go to the line, and our good players, and some of our players are getting great, are able to get to the line, and then we're making them too, Brian, which is crucial.
Definitely, yeah. Everyone stepped up, and as a team in the whole, everyone's shooting good free throws. Obviously, will help you win games. So, upcoming event, non-basketball related here. FDU baseball has their first pitch dinner. It's a yearly tradition. I think there's 250 people coming to this year's. One of the guys near and dear to you.
I can't. Gary, I apologize. Every year we play St. Francis of Brooklyn at Brooklyn. So, Justin, we got to schedule it differently. This is a baseball that I threw. I threw the first pitch out for the Lowell Spinners when I was the head coach at UMass Lowell. But testament to Gary Puccio, who they're going to honor. Gary, you're the absolute best. You know how much you mean to us and to everyone at Fairleigh Dickinson. But we wish we could be there. But we're there in spirit. We're pulling for Gary and Justin and the entire baseball program, just like we pull for every program at the university.
Yeah, definitely. That's an old baseball, too. We'll have to get a close glimpse on that maybe for a photo shot.
I threw a strike, Brian.
Oh, of course. Umpire called it, or you ruled that one?
No, it was clear to everyone.
All right, we've seen some bad first pitches, guys spiking the ball and stuff. So
I have Pete trying to find it on a YouTube, but just trust me, it was, and I practiced like for a week. I knew I was coming, so I wasn't gonna fall. I wasn't gonna be. I don't know who was the runner that did it.
Well, 50 Cent at the Mets game, I know was notoriously
so
bad.
bad
Carl
ones.
Lewis was it? Who threw a
Carl
bad one?
Lewis, he threw it like right into the ground. Yeah. No, it was fun. But Gary, you're the best, buddy.
So good luck to our baseball team. Sorry, a couple of us will be over in Brooklyn, but we'll be supporting from a distance. So any last thoughts now as you look ahead? You got two more big games on the road, Sacred Heart, St. Francis, Brooklyn.
No, Sacred Heart's playing as good as anybody. Brooklyn is just hit a little bit of a skid, but everyone's good, Brian. So all the games that you've seen, the last two, there's more to come, and we just need to just keep grinding, playing together. We're a good road team, so I love going to Sacred Heart. It'll be kind of cool with Brad. It will still officially be at Sacred Heart. So, and then at St. Francis, Brooklyn, I don't think anybody wins there. I know we haven't, and it's really hard. So we just need to keep grinding. There are 8 games left. This thing is flying, but we're excited where we are, and we're even more excited about where we're going.
Well, thanks for your time. Good luck this week.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
So the Knights, as Coach said, will head out to Sacred Heart on Thursday. That'll be a 6 p.m. start up in Fairfield, Connecticut. They'll follow that on Saturday, heading up to Brooklyn. And the women's team will open a doubleheader up there, the FDU women against the Terriers. And then the Knights will take on the Terriers at 4 o'clock on the men's side. So definitely check back. You can find all the links for that and all things about the FDU men's basketball team at fduknights.com.